Walk into any garden center or big box store and you are surrounded by shelves of products all promising to save your plants, save your time, and transform your yard. And here's the uncomfortable truth. A huge number of them do absolutely nothing except quietly drain your wallet. Some are useless, some are wildly overpriced for what they actually are, and a few genuinely make your yard worse while you pay for the privilege. So today, I'm counting down 9 landscaping and gardening products that are a straight-up waste of your money, the ones seasoned gardeners never buy, and exactly what to do instead. Stick around for number 1. Because it's something almost everyone overpays for by hundreds of dollars without realizing there's a cheaper way that actually works better. And be honest in the comments, how many of these are sitting in your garage right now? Number 9. Water retaining crystals, sometimes sold as water gel or moisture crystals. These are little polymer beads you're told to mix into your soil or your pot so they soak up water and slowly release it, meaning you supposedly water a lot less. It sounds brilliant and they charge a premium for it, but the evidence that they actually help is shaky at best. Testing has found the benefit is small, short-lived, and often not worth the cost, and the cheap ones break down within a season or two into who knows what's sitting in your soil. Meanwhile, the thing that genuinely holds moisture in your soil is free, and you already know what it is, a 2 to 3 inch layer of mulch on top, plus watering deeply and less often. Save your money on the magic crystals and just mulch. Number 8. The whole aisle of Gimmick garden gadgets, and I'll pick on the 2 worst offenders. First, aerator sandals. Those spiky strap-on shoes you're supposed to clomp around your lawn in to aerate it. They do not work. Real aeration means pulling actual plugs of soil out of the ground to relieve compaction. Jamming a few solid spikes in just compresses the soil around each hole and does basically nothing for your lawn, except make you look ridiculous in the front yard. Second, cheap moisture meters. Those little dollar probes you stick in the dirt to tell you when to water. The inexpensive ones are notoriously inaccurate and inconsistent. And here's the thing, you already own a perfect free moisture meter, your finger. Push it a couple of inches into the soil, and if it's dry down there, water. Skip the gadgets. Number 7. Buying decorative rock and pebbles by the bag. Those neat little bags of river rock, lava rock, and polished pebbles at the store feel cheap at a few bucks each, right up until you realize how many bags it takes to cover even a small bed, and suddenly you've spent a small fortune to fill one little area. Landscape rock bought by the bag is one of the most overpriced ways to buy material there is. If you genuinely need rock, order it in bulk by the cubic yard from a local landscape supply yard where it costs a tiny fraction per pound and have it delivered. You'll pay a sliver of the bagged price for the exact same stone. Buying rock one little bag at a time is just paying a giant premium for the packaging. Number 6. Peat moss. For decades, peat moss has been the automatic thing people grab to mix into their garden beds to improve the soil. Here's the problem. It's expensive. Its benefits are wildly overrated. It actually breaks down and compacts fairly quickly, and on top of all that, it's harvested from peat bogs in a way that's genuinely bad for the environment. And the kicker, there's a better soil amendment that's cheaper and very often completely free: compost. Good compost improves your soil structure, feeds the living organisms in it, and it lasts. You can make it yourself out of kitchen scraps and yard waste, or grab it free or dirt cheap from your local municipality. Skip the peat and use compost instead. Number 5. Paying full price for bags of mulch, when free mulch is often just a phone call away. Now hear me clearly. Mulch itself is one of the best things you can put on your yard, so I am absolutely not telling you to skip mulch. I'm telling you to stop overpaying for it. Those small bags at the store are the single most expensive way to buy mulch, and it adds up shockingly fast across a whole yard. Instead, a lot of cities and towns give away free wood chip mulch to residents from their tree trimming crews, and local tree care companies are often thrilled to dump an entire truckload of fresh wood chips in your driveway for free, because otherwise they have to pay to get rid of it. You just have to ask. Same mulch, same benefit, and it can cost you nothing but the work of spreading it. Number 4. Cheap solar stake lights. Those bargain packs of little solar path lights are almost irresistible. A whole box of them for $20, no wiring, free energy from the sun, done. and they are almost always a waste. The cheap ones put out a pathetically dim glow, barely enough to see, their plastic yellows and cracks after a summer in the sun, and their tiny batteries give up after a season or two, leaving you with a sad row of dead plastic stakes lining your walkway. So you buy them again and again. If you want lighting that actually looks expensive and lasts, put that same money toward a small number of quality, warm white fixtures instead of a big pack of the dim throwaway kind. A few good lights always beat a dozen dying dollar store ones. Quick gut check before the top 3, because these are the ones costing you the most money for the least reason. And number 1 is something almost everyone overpays for by hundreds of dollars without ever realizing it. So stick with me. Number 3, buying and dumping lime on your lawn without ever testing your soil. Somewhere along the way, spreading lime became this automatic yearly ritual that people do just because they think it's generally good for the lawn. But lime does one specific thing. It raises your soil's pH. And if your soil doesn't actually need that, you're not just wasting the money on the lime. You can genuinely hurt your lawn by pushing the pH too high and locking up the very nutrients your grass needs to grow. Applying lime without a soil test is complete guesswork. So here's the move. Spend about $15 or $20 on a soil test from your local cooperative extension office first. It tells you exactly what your soil needs and, just as importantly, what it doesn't. And most of the time, the answer is that you never needed that lime at all. Test first, then buy only what the results actually tell you to. Number 2, and this one is basically snake oil that's been sitting on store shelves for 90 years. Vitamin B1, and the root stimulator products built around it. You've seen them. The little bottles you mix with water and pour on a new plant or tree to prevent transplant shock and stimulate root growth. Here's the truth. The science settled a very long time ago. Vitamin B1, on its own, does absolutely nothing to stimulate root growth. Study after study on trees, flowers, and crops has shown no benefit whatsoever, and even the author of the original 1930s study that kicked off this whole myth admitted years later that it didn't work. The reason some root stimulator products seem to do a little something is that they've also got a real rooting hormone and some fertilizer mixed in, and that's what's doing the tiny bit of work, not the B1 you're paying extra for. So don't waste your money on vitamin B1 or transplant tonic. Plant your plant properly in native soil, water it in well, and it will grow roots exactly the way it's supposed to, for free. And number 1, the single biggest money waster of all, and almost nobody thinks of it this way, buying big, mature plants when you could buy small ones. It's completely understandable. You want your yard to look finished now, so you buy the large 5-gallon shrub or the tall tree for $80, $100, $150 instead of the little 1-gallon version of the exact same plant for $15. But here's what the pros know. Smaller plants don't just cost a fraction of the price, they very often establish faster and end up healthier than the big expensive ones. A small plant pours its energy into growing roots and settling in, while a big transplant spends its first couple of years just recovering from the shock of being dug up and moved, barely growing at all. Give it 2 or 3 years, and that cheap little plant frequently catches right up to, and even passes, the expensive big one you'd have paid 10 times more for. So unless you genuinely need instant size in one specific spot, buy small, be a little patient, and keep hundreds of dollars in your pocket. Nature does the growing for free. So let's run them all back. 9 landscaping products quietly wasting your money. Water-retaining crystals, gimmick gadgets like aerator sandals and cheap moisture meters, bagged decorative rock, peat moss, overpriced bagged mulch, cheap solar stake lights, lime you never tested for, vitamin B1 root stimulators, and the big one, buying huge mature plants instead of small ones. Notice the theme running through every single one of them. The expensive, heavily marketed option is almost never the one that actually works best. The cheapest moves, compost, mulch, a soil test, a small plant, and a little patience, beat the pricey ones nearly every time. Keep that money in your pocket. If this saved you some cash, do me a favor and hit subscribe. This is Yardworthy, where we show you how to get the yard you want without wasting money. I'll see you in the next one.